I'm Mike.
Hi, and I'm Laura.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Wading into Retirement. For those that subscribed after our first episode, thank you very much. We've had overwhelming support. So this week we're going to talk about retirement goals. What do we want it to look like? What would we define as our perfect retirement? My approach has always been to set a goal and then plan to achieve it. So I guess my goal would be not to be part of the rat race, be continually learning. I always want to be learning and doing something. Maybe have a side hustle to earn some money. I'm not the sort of person that could retire and then just stop and put my feet up. That's probably not going to work for me. And I'm very goal oriented and need to continue to set some goals and achieve some goals.
So when talking about this session, we have come to the conclusion that Laura is not as goal-oriented as Mike. I have discovered that I really would like to understand what others have done, where they have succeeded and what has made them happy, to kind of get a recipe. I know that in talking to them, like my sister, for example, she's decided to retire and move to be closer to her grandchildren. Your parents did the same thing. They moved from Toronto area to be down to be with you and the grandkids and bought a house. And your dad ended up with a side hustle, which he just retired at 79. I'm not sure if we'll have his kind of energy. After our last video, though, I did get some feedback from somebody who I really respect and believe is very wise, and she said, if you're going to do it now. So that I am keeping in the back of my mind. I know that I don't want to wait until I'm 65 to retire, and I really like the idea of keeping physically and mentally active, but have the financial freedom to do the activities to kind of leverage that. So I think I'm not as firm in what I'm looking for as what Michael is.
But I think our goals are pretty aligned in that neither of us really wants a sedentary lifestyle. We both want to continue to learn and do something growthful. And we're both aligned that we'd like to have life experiences rather than material things. So where finances are always an issue and we don't have an unlimited amount of money, I think putting money towards experiences rather than things is something that we both agree would be important.
So with that then, I think we have our first item on the list of what we would like our ideal retirement to look like. Building on that, I think I really would like to absorb another culture, and it would be fun to learn a new language and integrate with whatever area we decide to go on if we do decide to go somewhere else. It might be nice to be a part of like an expat community, but I would also want to make sure that we were, being a part of whatever community we're involved in. And to add to that, I want to make sure that we have somewhere that is dog friendly, which may limit some of our choices.
Yeah, I'm sure that it will. I mean, we've done a little bit of investigation, cursory level, into traveling with dogs. So we know that will be an issue and something that we'll cover in one of our episodes as well. So if we were making a quick list, I'd say for me, climate's very important.
Yes, you want it warm.
No, I don't want it cold. There's a difference in those two. I don't have to be in sweltering heat, but I don't want to be shoveling snow and ice.
Fair enough. I don't mind the cold, but maybe not minus 40. And with the amount of snow that we often see here, especially since I don't like the snowblower and I'm doing the shoveling. So with climate, I think I'm going to go into a different track altogether because I want somewhere where the healthcare is accessible. And if we have to purchase it, it would be affordable. And it is up to what we would expect a standard of healthcare to be, having both of us be in healthcare.
Yep, so I think that's important. We're going to have to look into that as part of one of the major criteria on our list. I think one of my other ones is internet access. Probably wouldn't have been 20 years ago, but now having reliable internet to be able to stay connected to the outside world, to post YouTube videos, to do whatever we're doing as a side hustle. You almost have to have that.
Well, and I think too, it helps keep us connected with family.
Yep.
And we won't miss out on that. So I would agree with you that to me that is also very, very important. I think I'm going to go back to sort of the healthy lifestyle. I want somewhere that has opportunities for walking. It'd be nice to get down to one car if we even needed a car. And I think I would like to have something that, if the area is known for it. Like we've been to a few places, so, if there's great scuba diving, maybe I would take up scuba diving as a physical activity. So I don't know if I would do rock climbing since somebody's afraid of heights, but I think if we were going to look for an area, something that has a draw card that is for physical or healthy lifestyle.
Yep. Okay, so my next one might be security and safety. I don't want to be in a place where I'm afraid that there's going to be some civil unrest, or that once the sun goes down, we want to rush back to our house or our rental property. I want to be somewhere where I feel safe, and I don't have those sorts of concerns.
Well, and I think too, do we want to go somewhere that is new to both of us, that we can explore fresh? Or do we want to go somewhere where we've been, or we know people that have been there that would help us integrate into the community, or at least soften the cultural change?
Yep. So I also think this came to me last night. Being close to an international airport, maybe within an hour of an airport, might be a criteria that I'd want to add to my list as well. Just so the family can come and see us, so that if there was an emergency, we could jet set back to Canada, that kind of thing. So I think having access to an airport would be important.
I think I could see that too. And even if we had to drive, if we had one car, I think that would be definitely doable. So I think that's really giving us a wish list of some key ideas that if we start to look at different options, it gives us an idea of where to start. It almost sounds like we're kind of leaning towards to maybe go somewhere different, or have a blend of staying here and going. I know that was also another suggestion from one of the earlier subscribers of, 6 months here, 6 months there, but then there's an awful lot to think about with those options too that we'd have to do some research on.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, as you said, we do have some high level criteria or desires, and I think our next step is probably to take those and break it down into some detailed planning.
Buckets.
What would that look like? And I think each of those buckets are really going to be an episode.
Oh, I think definitely they could be.
Okay, well, that was it for episode 2. So just to reiterate, like, everybody has a different path. Certainly is going to be different than ours. So we really just here sharing our experience and trying to figure out what's right for us, and that might be right for you and it might not be right for you, but we're certainly like all the feedback that we've got. It's the comments on both YouTube and Facebook specifically, have made us think differently and look at maybe some other options as well. So keep the comments coming.
They've really helped me, especially since I think you have the goal in mind, whereas I'm still trying to figure out. So it's good for me to hear from other people, to get a chance to see what they've chosen to do. And especially given that, it may be something that is kind of really life-changing. We're not opposed to that either. I think we're open to anything and everything.
Yep. So are you going to leave us with a thought for the day?
I can, because this one came from actually Robert Schuller, who was a televangelist, especially when I was younger. My dad always called him Old Smiley because he always had a very interesting look on life and things. So I think one of his quotes is kind of one of my favorite. And it goes something along the lines of, the only place where your dream becomes impossible is in your own thinking. And I do think that if we're keeping our minds open, sky's the limit, anything is possible.
Exactly. So we hope, if you haven't subscribed, that you do. And we will see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye for now.